Venice Beach. A place where tourists and locals alike come to soak up the sun, enjoy a dip in the ocean, take a stroll down the boardwalk, and relax. For many, Venice Beach is a symbol of the quintessential Southern Californian lifestyle. But for others, it can be seen as a home, a place to be left alone. It can also be seen as an eyesore and a dangerous place as the ever-growing homeless population increases. As a pseudo-homeless person myself, I became increasingly interested in this way of life and set out to do a little investigating. So I set out to do this little movie project, just kind of as a curiosity thing that started when I was road tripping down here and I realized that there was actually a large community of people sleeping in their cars. I was staying at various Walmarts and I was amazed every night at how many homeless people were sleeping in their cars. The curiosity grew as I came down here and I came to the beach and I noticed that there was a large group of people living on the beach. I'm very interested on people's journeys and different choices they've made and different paths people have taken which have gotten them to where they are. That's why I'm a huge proponent on entrepreneurial success stories, because I love to figure out what choices people have made, what paths they have taken to get them to where they are, so I can learn from that. And the same goes for homeless people. I would love to know how they became homeless, what choices they made to get them into that situation, so I can learn from that. So I set out to do this little movie project. I thought it would just be part of my little vlog series, but it actually turned out to be much more than that. Half the people I interviewed didn't really want to be filmed on camera, but it was really interesting getting both sides of the perspective from homeless people living on the beach, from store owners, and then sometimes from visitors walking up and down the boardwalk. I learned that it's extremely hard to make a documentary and be unbiased. It's very hard not to edit and voice your opinion through means of communication. It's very, very hard not to be biased. It's not that you empathize so much with your subjects or you pick a side, but you always try to find like a story and stick to it. So it's hard not to cross the line. So I think what I learned from this little project is that it's a huge systemic problem that just doesn't have one solution. I mean, a lot of these people have mental health disabilities that they definitely need help, and they become marginalized and feared because lots of people think it's a drug problem or, that they're just a nuisance to society. And it's not really taken care of. Like, nothing is done in this community, I've realized, to help take care of these people. They're human beings just like you and I. And I'm not trying to pick a side or empathize more so with the homeless people or with the shop owners, but I feel like there's got to be more that can be done to help this problem, I guess. Right now it seems like they coexist pretty well together, the locals, store owners, and the homeless people living on the beach. But there's got to be a better solution. These people deserve help for sure. And I know from a community standpoint, you don't really want these homeless people on the beach. It's not a good look for the community, and it's not a good look for because Venice Beach is a huge, major tourist attraction. And you have all these homeless people on one side, and then all these fun shops on the other. I just think there's more going on here, and I think something needs to be addressed. And I feel like it's not. And I feel like nothing is happening towards a solution. I've gathered that there are different types of homeless people. There's people who enjoy just living on the beach and content with not doing anything. There's others who've had drug problems in the past, who are, junkies strung out on the beach. And then there are people who have mental health disabilities, which I think accounts for most of them. It seems like most of these people that I've talked to have some sort of mental disability that needs attention. And I think them just living on the beach is not a good solution for anyone. Venice as a community as a whole should really lend a hand to these people and figure out a better way. It would be more beneficial for both parties. I don't know. All I'm saying is this is kind of a fun little video to make. I learned a lot for sure. I like being aware of my surroundings and my environment that I'm in. And I like knowing what's going on in the community. So I was very curious as to why there was such a large homeless population on the beach. Not just because of the weather, you know. And I learned a lot for sure. I'm hoping I was able to piece together something cool and create like a little story out of it. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to turn out, but this is it. It's called Homeless Venice.
Is life a privilege or a right? Either way it goes, if we don't opt into what's going on, where do we have the right or the privilege to go exercise it?
Well,
there is nowhere.
What's your name?
I'm Malachi.
Shaka Zulu, Zulu Chichiani, a.k.a. Cleophas C. Clark.
I was in San Francisco. I was living on Haight Street. And then one day I was like, I'm gonna go to the beach. So I went to Santa Cruz and I haven't left the beach since.
I hitchhiked.
I lost my place in Portland. A friend of mine paid to get me out of there because I had a really bad addiction to heroin. I'm not doing it anymore.
since I was 8, I used to sleep on the top of the substation. You know, so this is home. To me, it's not being homeless. This whole stigma of being homeless is complete fucking bullshit.
I got kidnapped a while back, took in all the way out to state. The beach house I was living in got blew the fuck away, burnt to the crisp.
Become homeless, you put out here with whatever little, if nothing, you have left in life. And it totally demoralizes you. So you get a hold of a backpack and you can't put it down because if you do, somebody will steal it. So then you find a sleeping bag. And then if you put that down, somebody will steal that. So now you have a sleeping bag and a backpack. And because you have nothing, those things mean more to you than you could ever imagine. So then you start to get more things and more things and more things. Or let's say you're put out here with an RV's worth of stuff, in my case. You know, I can't go look for work because if I turn my back, my shit will be gone.
Mm-hmm. Keep a tent, keep a heated space mat. I keep like 4 or 5 big ass fresh comforters. I keep blankets, pillows, and all that stuff. Cooler with the little radio on it.
I mean, I apologize about the look and stuff.
I don't like shit on the beach. What the fuck are they gonna do with half of a broom? They're not using it to clean up, and they don't even have the right half. You know? But then I gotta realize that it's not necessarily their fault, because this guy probably got a map from fucking Twin Towers on his release with major mental disorders, and a map to go to Edelman's in Santa Monica, and then the detour to Venice, where it's a safe place to sleep.
I think there's categories of homeless, though. That's the thing. There's homeless, and then there's the criminally insane.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you have to be careful with.
There's 3 types of people. People who choose to be here, people who are schizophrenic, and those who want to prey on the other 2. And that's it.
I'd say knock the doors of the churches down. The churches are stealing from the poor people, and they should be opening the doors up and letting all the homeless people sleep inside the churches when it gets cold at night.
I got thrown into a trunk after being hit with a cat tranquilizer. Woke up with a tattoo in a whole different state.
Can I ask why that happened, or you just...
Because I was getting my reservation pay. I had finally graduated high school, was going to Santa Monica Community College, transferring to USC, and getting ready to teach at UCLA the hip-hop Tupac Machiavelli class on slang. So, you know, everything was rolling the right way for me in my life. A lot of people didn't want to see that because, you know, I came from being a nothing ass fuck up. I want to see what it boils up to. Either I'm going to get killed before I get everything back, or either I get everything back and end up making a grip off the movie entertainment business with the stories and all the shit I've been through from being kidnapped.
If you take a consensus of the people on the beach right now, if you walk and do a count of every female on this strip of grass, there are 2 that are not schizophrenic. Look at the black male population out here. Check their mental stats. Okay?
Black male.
Okay? Check their mental stats. Period. And it is hand-served for one reason. Venice's lease with Abbott Kinney is up, and the city of Los Angeles is going to turn this into a public park, okay, for tourism. The one thing Venice is known for is what? It's fucking crazy. That in itself is not the problem. The problem is they don't help them. I don't have a problem, and I see the need, and whatever, it is what it is. I mean, come on, man, I'm a fucking American. None of this fucking shocks me, scares me, or surprises me, okay? Our country does some sick, twisted shit to ourselves, and so be it. But knowing this, I can count on my hand how many weeks before somebody's gonna pop, because I know how long they have before they can go without their medication. They don't have the people come out here and ask them if they're staying on their medication or if they need any help. They used to do that. Fucking LAPD stopped that shit, okay? And now they have to go and get the help instead of the help coming to them, okay? And that fucking mental, goddammit, they're not going for fucking help. They're schizophrenic. They're homeless because they don't want to be fucked with. They don't want to be told to do. They don't want to stand in fucking line.
Exactly.
If that shit was going to fucking work, then they'd be going to a goddamn shelter. Give them their own fucking freedom, their own. Let them be responsible for themselves.
places where you
Let
can
them
go
keep
and
their
get
self-esteem
food,
and their
free food.
humanity. You know what I'm saying? Let it be something that they do by choice. Give them a space to leave their shit so they can get their own fucking their mind together, their thought together. They're self-sufficient fucking adults. They just need to stop being treated like children and allowed to find their own way.
They'll start building from that point. Like 9-10 years ago, I was living in Las Vegas, Nevada. I had over 9 to 10 zips, crystal meth, had every stripper bitch at the door, lesbians making out in front of me. I was like the man, and then I realized I wasn't the man. This wasn't the lifestyle. I got all this cash from reservation pay, and I could be going through hikes, through woods and all that like I used to when I was younger. And all this shit is doing is, making sure that my life get cut short. And I'm eventually gonna land in jail, and I'm gonna have to spend all my check on commissary protection, TVs for the rest of the. I don't want to go through all that, So like I said, to them it's gonna be like the same thing. They're gonna eventually, either figure out this is not amounting up to a bowl of beans, or they're gonna live out here the rest of their motherfucking life.
What do you think about the homeless situation and people living on the beach?
So it's getting worse and worse every day. It's not good for the business. People walk by the shop and instead of looking at our bikes, they look at the homeless stuff, and it's not good.
I mean, I don't think it really affects store owners, because, very few people come in and, just chill out, but usually, they just stay over there,
Yeah.
They don't really bother people
So,
on this side.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't really bother people like that.
This is Venice, so there's always some kind of mayhem going on. It's not necessarily always the homeless.
If you're healthy, I don't see why you can't try and get your life together. I mean, be homeless, you gotta try and figure stuff out. I don't see why you wanna be, they can be comfortable being like that.
So you're obviously trying to change the situation and
Oh yeah.
get up off
I stay
here.
sober, I stay clean, I don't drink, I don't do no drugs, I don't do alcohol, I don't function with like neighborhood gangs and junk. I stay to myself, I hustle at work, I'll move whatever they need in the store, I'll stock a shelf or two, I work for my meal, they ain't never saw me sitting here stealing nothing or taking nothing or trying to sell drugs, just to survive. I get up and work.
Do you think most people living on the beach are trying to change their situation right now, or?
Some are, some ain't, because I be out here. Some are just out here because they're still on that roll of getting high, so they're still going downhill. But once they get to the bottom, if they unroll and fall flat, and they sit around, that's when they'll stand up, and from then on, it'll be a step either in the right direction, or they'll land themselves in jail.
Nah, they're just lazy motherfuckers. They just stay there because they want to stay there, man. I mean, a lot of people help them, and I understand that because they're humans, but they shouldn't help them that much.
To support myself, because I don't steal from stores or corporations. It doesn't matter. Either way you're taking from someone's mouth. So I go around, I dumpster dive. I just, being a human with a sense of my surroundings, I'm not just a consumer, I pick most of the stuff up to help people out with. I'm a 10-time drug felon, so it makes it hard for me to find work. I mean, people assume that it's so easy to get a job and this, that, and the other, but it's not. They make it harder and harder for you each and every year. People don't realize that we're just like them.
Yeah.
The only difference is we fell on hard times.
People that weren't homeless 10 years ago are homeless now. People that used to live in houses and had jobs and cars are now living in their cars. So, you know, until the government, which doesn't work really for the people as much anymore.
Do you think there's a way like the government can help out, or like how? Do you see?
There's fucking
do you see a
thousands of
solution
houses.
to this?
There's millions of houses out here in the U.S. alone that are abandoned, empty, and stuff like that. People, a lot of us have skills to be able to like bring them back up to code and stuff, but they don't want that. They want to tax the fuck out of everyone. It's not. America's not what they say it was. It's not home of the brave and land of the free,
right?
It's home of the slave and land where nothing's free. You go to any other fucking country and medical's pretty much covered for free.
Yeah.
But no, you got to pay for it. It takes 2 hours to be able to see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit. It's all about the almighty dollar, and that's about to fucking fall.
It's a real simple situation. It's a real simple solution, but they won't do it because it cuts out more police enforcement and more funds to it, taxpayers' money.
Why not? Why can't our government, much less our president and everything else, fucking just be honest with us?
Yeah.
I lose my life. I lose my family. Separated from my children because of 9/11. You know, my husband came back. PTSD, the whole 9 yards. I had a nervous breakdown. La 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 la. 4 years gone to hell trying to figure out the mental status of everybody in the family, and then boom. Now you're homeless with no money, and the government's not going to help me on either side of the fucking fence. I lost a friend about 3 months ago because they took my RV, and he stroked. And they put us out on the corner of Venice and Pacific, and he got gangrene and lost his foot within 3 days. And he was hospitalized, and he died 10 days after that. And there's not a chance in hell anybody can't tell me that the fact that they impounded illegally my RV.
It's just mathematics, okay? More and more people, all chewing on the same bone. Not everybody's going to be successful.
Living out here don't mean God don't love you. Because there's worse places than living out here.